And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Nations 2 as Ethiopia. Let's go ahead and unpause here. We're paying off our debt. We just had someone die. Oh, that was the old spy master. This hasn't gone away, wait. But yeah, we're up and coming. We're in 3rd by prestige. Mostly expanding via colonization and diplomacy. Although we are a diplomatic empire that is also a shadow empire. So we've got some bonuses to espionage and diplomacy. That's helping us do that relatively quickly. Okay, colony just finished down on Mars. Take a pop out over to Mars. I think we're still the only one here. At least on Mars proper. I think there's people out on the moons. Yeah, USA is out in orbit, but we've apparently the only one to step foot on Mars. Okay, no longer exporting or importing the genetic material. That should save us a decent chunk of money. Get me back to Earth, please. Yeah, we probably want to build up more genetic factories anyway, so we can spread the life extension technology around. But it is a relatively expensive thing, so we're not in a complete rush. And it also doesn't generate necessarily any money other than the, effectively, population living longer, providing more growth sort of thing. Someone set off the bomb. Someone's been nuking people. I suppose every once in a while, if we hear too many of those, we'll need to be checking to see if there is unclaimed land on planet Earth to take. Which, speaking about that, there is in fact unclaimed land on Earth to take. Bhutan has no people left. Gone over the month. Can I steal anything from Belgium? Tech-wise. Oh, except the research. Steal the technology. Mass manufacturing has been solved. Resource extraction project limit goes up by +1. Gives me the building that is the ability to level up the manufacturing sectors. And we have entertainment zone, which allows us to add up to +5 to culture sector level. Which right now is the monument. So I could add 5 more, so I get another 50% unity. It's not too bad. And then we'll go through the people we're doing. Because outside of Belgium, the Netherlands, everyone we're negotiating with, or everyone we're spying on, we're trying to integrate. Madagascar is down to -4. Madagascar is about to become one with Ethiopia. Tanzania. Oh, that's Zar. Zar still got a way to go. Diplomacy should be enough. We're just patient enough. Cameroon, same sort of logic. while to go. Morocco's down to 21, so a little bit more there. 12. I think we only get like 8 favors, so it needs to go a little bit more. But that's, again, still doable. It's got another 14 to come from just improved relations. Okay, so I can pick another target for integration. Improve relations, build spy network. Interplanetary technology. So that was the blocker. We can now get into the next era. And to be fair, we've integrated more cultures, so we're definitely not getting as much culture as we used to. Although we're still getting more culture than I think we get tech rate. I don't quite have enough yet for unification of East Africa, although we're getting pretty close. Oh, and that's Tanzania. So basically I take over Tanzania and we become East Africa. That's where we're at. We're at 1.6 billion people, and growing. Although our growth rate seems to have slowed down a little bit. I suspect that may have been the negative effects of the nuclear bomb going off. There goes off another nuclear bomb. Another one made it through the fences, presumably. Looks like India is going the way of the dodo as China comes rolling in. Although how much is going to transfer is a different question. Yeah, we're definitely seeing our culture rate go down. I'm going to finish with my surveys before I go to build more culture. Let's just finish all the circuits up. Back in debt again. Picking up Seeking Understanding, so more assimilation, more clergy faction loyalty. Ideologues are very happy. Could probably do with being a little bit more powerful. We are starting to pick up some stability, so I can start contemplating picking some of these up. More culture power would definitely be good. As well as the unrest reduction. The build cost reduction is nice. I was willing to sit on a ongoing stability cost. That is pretty powerful. Good old brainwashing. If I end up with a 4th trait slot for ideologues, I think we'll go with that. Yeah, I'm going to take the Awakened Spirituality here. It is quite expensive on the initial buy. But extra cultural power is great. It's this, so we'll get through this a little bit faster. 20% more culture power. Yeah, probably when actually before the year even cycles over, some of these places we've got enough power I can do curry favors, political infiltration. Yeah, Tanzania is the next one we actually really want to integrate anyway, but it's coming up. -8, we got 7, so we'll see where we are after the year tick. There we go. So Tanzania, oh, that's 28. We're not gonna be able to do 28. Not gonna be 23. Can I steal from Belgium? No, Belgium is empty. There's no more to steal from Belgium. And Belgium is definitely the wrong ideology to diplomat and integrate. So we stop spying on Belgium. Morocco 16, Syria is 22, Tanzania is 7, and I have 7. I think I need to go one more year. And we should be able to do Tanzania. Iraq is 19, Yemen is 20. Got someone ready for promotion. Premier. Reset diplomacy. The other things from them is unit morale, recruitable population factor, which isn't super useful unless you're doing a bunch of fighting or development equilibrium researches. I suppose from a monetary standpoint, it's pretty powerful. Well, the colony finished out on Mars, so let's hop to Mars. We'll survey you, and I think we're still going to go with the standard steel refinery. Genetic materials factory to start. Even though we did find some resources there. Oh, it was mostly iron, so that's not the end of the world. Anyway, just sort of pick a neighboring Martian territory at random. Off we are to terraforming Mars, or colonizing Mars. Although we have enough territory on Mars, we could, once we have the technology, terraform Mars. It would not be that hard. Okay, take a lot of genetic material, don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be that hard. We've done it before, and it'd be even easier as is. Because we're not on Mars, right? So we can use the resources off Mars to terraform Mars. Okay, we're moving through political innovation 3 into political innovation 4. More espionage, offense, defense is going to be great. And then the education, and then I suppose after that we'll probably try to brute force some of the technology over here. I might even do interplanetary culture into interplanetary colonization. interplanetary trade. Something like that. I probably need to find someone else to spy on for tech reasons. People's Republic of China. If I were to spy on you, how expensive would that be? Only 100? I can work 100. Get a basic spy network going. I'll get up to 46%, which is a good start. That's enough. That actually isn't quite enough for siphon research. Although, if we finish integrating another power, which we will do in a year, I'll have enough probably to focus on them. Oh, I can also take my focuses back from these two. And then that provides me the power to focus on you. And focusing on you gets me to a usable level. Great. Okay, just had a year tick. Mozambique is negative 19, negative 22, negative 21. Apparently, granted, they're number one, so they're from size they're impossible. Ideology, they're also communists. They're too red to become one with Ethiopia. I'm looking at it, it's almost there, but it's far enough to not there that it's not going to work. Okay, we have enough. Tanzania, it is time to become one with Ethiopia. Rwanda militia. Okay, go and disband the Rwanda militia. Army. Just the entire Rwanda army. There we go. And then that gives me unification East Africa. So Ethiopia into East Africa. There we go. Next up, African Union. Oh, and that also gave me a bunch of stability. That's nice. Negative 19, negative 26, negative 21. Although these are all doable, it's just a matter of patience. Different question of whether or not I have that patience, but it's just a matter of patience. Syria, again, matter of patience. Iraq's negative 16, so matter of patience. 33 is a bit of a stretch, but again, still, just be patient. We'll get there. So you're gonna have to be by a military when the time comes. Basically, if they don't start, the moment I look at them, if they're not like 10 or above, they're no, we can't do them. They're not gonna be doable. Not from a diplomatic immigration standpoint. There you go, political innovations 3, some more espionage, offense, and defense. And then reminding myself to come through and end these game proxies. We're simulating into direct control. Okay. Next we'll do activist economics for the build cost reduction. Ideologues grow stronger and more appreciative. Over 100% loyalty. That's a nice income. Okay, on the concept of having a nice income, make sure all the surveys are done. Okay, we'll pay that debt down, and then we'll start working on improving genetic material. Next one, which is integration cost down. We haven't actually been integrating anyone. We did one over here because we inherited the integration, but that's the only one. Okay, colony's about to finish. In fact, colony finished after, just as I clicked. Decent iron there. That's always nice. Steel refinery, materials, factory, next colony. We have a few million people on Mars, but I think the entire population of Mars is smaller than some of our biggest territories. Colony going to Mars, back to Europe. Oh, and I suppose by forming East Africa, we've gained a bunch of accepted cultures, which has accelerated our culture rate. Egypt is our biggest unaccepted culture right now, so let's integrate them. We're at 2.1 billion people, and growing. 15 million a year. Okay, let's do a pass on building a bunch of genetic material. So we can make people live longer. All the surveys are done for the moment. Genetic material factory. Sort by benefit to cost. And shift. Click. Again, I'm gonna go a little bit in debt. It's about, let's do one more. About 5 years of debt. Building up those genetic factories. Next is political innovation 4. Again, more spy power on that. Okay, we have the year tick. -16, it's definitely not there. 46 is going to be a while. 23 is still quite a while. Where is 19? China is up and coming. We're not trying to integrate China, we want to steal stuff from China. And then when we get bored of stealing stuff from China, we're probably going to start just futzing with China because they're the leader. What are we carrying stuff with you? You're up to 51. You're only -9. I only got 7, so 2, 3 years, and Morocco becomes 1. Oh, someone died. I don't necessarily like this. Says, oh, so-and-so replaced the predecessor. That would probably be better replaced with so-and-so died and has been replaced with blah. Or at least the job held by so-and-so has been cleared. Whether I care about them or not depends on whether they have a job. So corporate commander, I think it's this guy replaced the corporate commander, right? You want project management or that job. I definitely have a better person for that spot. So to get that, you lose that job because you're not the best for it. Although you're not terrible, right? 16 diplomacy is actually really good. We'll give you diplomat. You might get a job when the spy master dies. You might get the spy master's job when the spy master dies. Hoffman saying hi. Hi, little Hoffman. We're being the Shadow Empire of Africa here. We started as Ethiopia, and we've spread to be East Africa. Pretty much everyone in East Africa, except for Eritrea, willingly joining of their own volition. And honestly, Eritrea isn't beyond the realms of asking pretty please and them joining as well. Just we're not there yet. I need to get full diplomatic before I can do them. Okay, we just had a January. Seven. I have 7. So next year, Morocco joins. Syria is coming up. Iraq is like 4 years out. When I have enough diplo power, I can try with a few more. So you were the wrong... You were the wrong ideology. South Africa is conservative enough. So, improve relations. Whoops. No, don't declare war on them. I don't need to declare war on them. Improve relations. Add improve relations, build spy network. Zaire, number 1. So I got tagged as number 1. Apparently, there's probably civil war. Cameroon. Nigeria with the culture and the ideology is doable. Okay. So improve, build spy network. Improve, build spy network. We'll go a month just in case I've spent too much. I haven't spent too much. To be fair, we're a big enough, powerful enough empire as prestige level 2 that we can get most places for pretty cheap from an interaction standpoint. Nope, their ideology's come around. It wasn't before. Apparently Algeria went just a little bit more conservative, and they're now on the table. And I suppose I might as well start spying on Algeria. We know once we have full diplomatic, we can do them as well. Okay, so we're improving relations with everyone in Africa that we can integrate peacefully. Some more unity. So we'll move through the unity tech tree a little bit faster. Although I'm thinking I'm going to brute force some of the... tempted to go for interplanetary colonization for terraformation techs. Hydroformer, atmosphoremer, bioformer. Spend again. Is there any surveying to do? Nope. So genetic materials factory. Sort cheap, shift. Negative 3 million. Innovations 4. Espionage offense, espionage defense, privileges get cheaper. Not that I have any more to hand out to the ideologues. It's always tempting to hand more to the spies. I think I hand more to the spies. Go forth, spies and spy. More offense for the spies. So the people that have stacked some defense, that doesn't do very much. But if the people who haven't, we just show up. It's like, yep, spies are here. We know the things that are going on. You're up to 92% against China. Or can go up to 92% against China. That's nice. Based on where China is, can I siphon any research off of them? Implied to be no, which also implies they don't have anything to steal tech from. On the other hand, I can siphon some of their money. Do some horrible things to China. Get some of their money. Inspire some unrest in their territory. Granted, India hasn't been a particularly nice boy either. So, I'm favoring India because I know China's been nuking them. Just a little bit in deficit because we got from 3rd to 2nd. I could probably fix that by raising some more troops. Let's do that. Let's see if that gets back up in a second. There we go. That should fix the diplomatic issues. There we go. Just gotta increase that soft power a little bit. I just gotta show the Shadow Empire has some proverbial teeth. Okay, January, so we had our tick. Mozambique. Very favors political infiltration. Something's changed in Mozambique. Pretty sure I had more than 4 ideology there, so they've rearranged their government, I suspect. I might still be able to do it at Mozambique, because when we get the full culture bonus, that'll be 7.5, plus the 4.3, plus the 50. That goes above 60. Should be doable. That's within doable range. That's not easy range, that's doable range. But I think I only have like 7 or 8 for favors. Do more stuff to China. Do more stuff to China. Let's just straight up steal some of the resources. Yeah. Orchestrate a mutiny. Let's push the steel technology just to make sure they don't have any. Yeah, they don't have any that we can steal. Fair enough. Okay, Morocco. Become one with East Africa. They have some resting unrest, but, you know, I'm just gonna solve that real quick. Just by being part of the nation, they're much happier. Syria needs 9, I got 7, so 3 more years there. Yemen needs quite a bit. Botswana needs 10. Again, I think I max out in favors like around 7, 8. Well, Botswana is curry favors. Just curry favors for the moment. Curry favors. Nigeria, I don't even know if to curry favors. Okay. And then most of those are new, so they're not going to have enough opinion yet. Doesn't mean they'll never have enough opinion, just not enough yet. Working on education 3. Oh, and I have enough genetic material. We can go ahead and grab a gene lab. So this will be 132. Afford that. This will be 46. We can afford that. Give or take a bit. 72, I think I can afford that. That's maybe where I should stop for the moment. Okay, another tick of espionage as well as improvement. is 9. Oh, no, it's still 10. It's not quite there yet. It still should be going up, so let's be patient. -8, we're at +7, so 2 more years. Iraq is now. Welcome to East Africa, Iraq. Oh, you're still part of Yemen. These two now. Yeah, there's a little bit of an arrest. They're just a little grumpy, but look, they'll calm down. Give them a little bit of time. -9's not doable. That's not far off from doable. Down here, we're looking at curry favors if they're over 25. It's just those two for the moment. And yeah, to unify the African Union, we need to get 80% of the population of Africa. We're well on our way to that. I think probably, if I remember my African population densities, probably Nigeria is the one I need to take over. Make that happen. Education 3. Some more education efficiency. Nice. Hearing multiple bombs. I think that went off in China. See, the predecessor passed away recently. Okay, so we just had 2 leaders just die. Signing of trade, so more unity. You're 25. You're probably the best we've got for that job. Yeah, although you gotta run her up if something comes up. Corporate commander is gonna be management. Who are the best at management? Civil liberties is also management. There's a better management person, so you get the job. Doubt there's gonna be better than 21, so we're not gonna look. Spy master. Apparently has his automatic level turned on. Can I get a better diplomat? Yes, so you get the job. Spies are powerful. They actually lose their lingo bit of power, but got that espionage offense set to the moon. Scaled by power and loyalty. Okay. Loyalty is great. Power's weak. Okay. Although basically at this moment we just got all the power congealed mostly in the ideologues and the spy agency, so you can probably tell who's running the country. And And apparently after that nuclear exchange, we are now first in prestige, because the Chinese prestige has declined. End of this colony. It's going to become our territory soon. We got a whole bunch of... Of course, when I'm like, oh, just wait until this is done, it's going to take multiple months. There we go. Okay, so let's go through our interactions. You need a lot of improve. You're going to need a lot of improve. Although again, still in the reasonable range. Zaire is down to 10. Cameroon's down to 7. It means Cameroon comes on board. Welcome to East Africa, Cameroon. Assume direct control. Go a little bit farther, we can do instigate crisis from China. Okay, Syria's at 56. So welcome aboard Syria. Welcome to East Africa. That's Yemen, not Syria. What was going on here? So damaged. Oh, there's an ongoing war. So I just saved Syria from a war. What went on? Although there's still fighting ongoing in Syria. We're not in the war, so presumably they'll get out of my territory at some point. $47, that's getting pretty close. Very favors political infiltration. Very favors political infiltration. Very infiltration. Very infiltration. Curry infiltration. We got the curry, so we'll add the infiltration. Curry infiltration. Infiltration. Diplomatic coercion's 75, we're not there yet. Although it won't be that long. Curry, infiltration. Curry, and infiltration. You know, I think it is probably time, you know, have a policy of actually funding some education. Education spend. Oh, actually, we're on low already. So we're paying 100. Yeah. Only the best for Africa. And right now we're on default, neutral. Go for government. Private, elite-oriented. Yeah, only the best elite-oriented. Education spend here. But I suppose I could swap this over to something else before. Uniform costs. Yeah, I didn't necessarily need expansion, I suppose. I probably could have running innovation the entire time. That would have been pretty good. Go stability gain from factions. We get some more stability. Also tempted to go more welfare. We'll unpause and we'll see how badly I've damaged the budget with, yeah, how badly I damaged the budget with the whole, education. Maximal education for Africa. Base education value, 100%. Let there be knowledge. While other people set off the bomb. I heard that off in the distance. I'm not sure who that hit. So let's change effects in. So they'll start having their effect on population growth, which is people die at a later age, which does help a little bit with overall population. Clinic there. Have it there. Cairo does not have one. Cairo probably deserves one. It's 180 something. And then there's another 180 something. Tanzania. So let's give you one as well. Okay. From then on, I should probably be investing in expansion of the clinic system. And or expansion of the colonies, which is actually what I'm going to go do. Does the gene clinic have an upkeep cost? It does. Okay, so I do need to be a little bit careful, because if I spam a bunch of genetic materials factories, they're going to get quite expensive. So if anything, I need to buy or build up some resource production. Get some steel refineries going before I get too ham on that. let's instigate a crisis into China. Have a bad day, China. I know you're one of the people who've been chucking nukes, so have a bad day. If that's the case, 4. Fair, the more education we get, the quicker we can move through the tech tree. And one advantage of doing education is it affects all the provinces in our territory. Whereas the universities only affect the province where you put it. Pick up another view. Second to last one, so that's war exhaustion recovery. Probably the least important there. But Master of Diplomacy will be real nice. Get that in 5 years. Education 4 is done. Oh, I don't have the next one queued up. You want interplanetary culture for the Unity? Although I suppose I'm not really benefiting the Unity if I'm not running a Unity text after that. That's probably what I want to do after I'm done doing a short stint in... It's over here. So I think we grab colonization. I don't need the range for deep space yet. Into interplanetary trade. Into interplanetary culture. Then I'll probably bounce back to the culture tree at that point, so I'll have a culture bonus. Yeah, this is still going to take a long time. Okay, so we just had the diplomacy tick. Zimbabwe, -34. Zaire, -10. So, like 3 years and we'll do Zaire. Korea is going to be a long way off. Yemen's at -13. Algeria is -23. Okay, so we're a long way off for anymore. Well, not anymore, as maybe that's being too inclusive. Decent to be off. We're getting pretty close with Guinea. I could ask to join their blocks, but then I might get called into wars that I don't want to be in. Let's be fair. That's my concern there. Okay. Construction. All the survey's been done. Syria hasn't been. And then we'll do steel refineries. Steel refineries, that's a start. I don't think I can get a better electronics factory at the moment. I have to do... I suppose I can check, though. Electronic factory... Sort by level... Best I could get at 6. That doesn't help us much, because I would need 10 to beat it. Got... manufacturing... I only need to beat 6. Best we've got is a 10. So let's grab that 10. Shouldn't be able to do that because I don't have any deposits. Could build up the power grid for a little more stability. I think that's not particularly great use. Beating 9 is going to be hard to do. It's resource capacity. Well, that's nice if you already have resources there, yeah. Most of our places is going to be genetic material or industrial capacity. Logistics is industrial capacity only. Farm levels, I don't think anything beats 12. Oh, there might be some places where I can do the combo and that might be 12, but let's not worry about that. Entertainment zone is just culture. No money on that, no money on that. That's materials for research level. Space habitation would only make sense not on Earth. There might be some argument to building out there, but we got so many people on Earth and so few in space that just being able to get higher population off Earth isn't going to be, by itself, super valuable. In which case, we're back to thinking farms for value if I want to earn more money. Zambia, Massa, Tangiers. Iran. Got the farms built out, or queued up, and those will all make money. Unequivocally, and I suppose that's what we got for the moment. Okay. Unpause, let it's time to happen. Probably coming up where I should put the part break. I think we'll run this one a little long, and I'll pick up the last of culture traits in diplomatic. So it's like 2 years. Get that opinion group and see how many we can get integrated in here. See if that's enough to go from East Africa to the African Union. I don't think it will be during this first stream. We've made great progress towards getting the African Union here. We are first in prestige, although we are a long way off from properly winning. Plus, we're not actually in an alliance yet. So... We're technically not even in the running for winning. Our alliance can't have the most prestige if our alliance is not an alliance. I suppose I'm probably a bigger chunk of the non-aligned there. Might be part of that 36%. See the revenue coming up, probably as those buildings come online. There is our culture trait. Masters of Diplomacy. 2.8, almost 2.9 billion people. We're going to go around, see who wants to join us before we bring the stream to a close. Make proxy on Zaire. Zaire, welcome to East Africa, formerly Ethiopia. Yemen, welcome to East Africa, formerly Ethiopia. Algeria is a little far off, although it'll probably be fairly early next stream. 35, not there. Nope. 59. Yep. Gambia, or Guinea. Guinea, welcome to East Africa, formerly Ethiopia. Is a no. Ivory Coast is a no. Nigeria is a no. South Africa is a no. April and pause. We'll go 2 months here. See if that updates. Still 2.89, although we're closer to 2.9 billion. So yeah, not 80% of Africa yet. I suspect we need to integrate Nigeria to get to the population required. I think Nigeria has a good chunk of the remaining population. I know where population is in Africa normally. Yeah, there's 500 million there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Nigeria stopping us from becoming East Africa. When did Brazil get in here? Okay, just add Brazil to the list. We'll add Brazil to Africa. Yeah, so it's Brazil and Nigeria. 500 million people in Nigeria. So it's basically 1 billion people. Yeah, so I need to integrate Nigeria to get officially become the African Union. But that's the state of East Africa. We are spreading. I'll have to go through and properly integrate a bunch of these administrations, but we'll do that at the beginning of next stream. But yeah, actually, now has updated. 3.76 billion people live in East Africa, which is not, at this point, is only just barely not the African Union. So, African Union is coming up. Coming up fast. Treasury is looking pretty good. We're at 300,000 on high education. So we're spreading the education to Africa. We're educating those poor plebeians. It's going to be a while before we catch up with Europe. Any meaningful terminology. Holland, Belgium are up in the 150s, 180s. Most of our places are like 60. Even our good spots are 70, 80. It's going to be a while before we catch up. We're catching up, but it's going to be a while. As a side effect, our tech is a bit slow. We are... Oh, I'm not actively colonizing. Let me go grab another colony quickly on Mars. There, another colony started on Mars. Remind me what I'm doing. Colonizing Mars. But yeah, so that's the state of us on the world. We are spreading bigger and better, and we're working on what's left in Africa. Once we're done with what we're currently working on in Africa, everything outside of those guys are to the point where we can't do it through diplomacy. Oh, we are... Oh, no, that's us. Never mind, we're still the only people on Mars. Or, wait. Oh, no. East Asians People Republic are up here. Here comes China. Yeah, here comes China. So it's us and China on Mars. We'll see how much of Mars goes conservative versus communist red. I haven't really futzed too much with our alignment. I've mostly been trying to stick conservative. You can definitely swing it to like corporate or liberal pretty quickly if you're trying to. But we've sort of accepted we're aligned clergy, which is the sort of fascist direction. I may over time swing it to be a bit more of a mix of aristocratic clergy, but honestly, without a better understanding of why I would want to change some of these, I'm fine where they are. Like, yeah, we could swap to monarchy, which would be the split between aristocratic clergy. But administration's working. It just works. Although that's dragging us towards the reds, right? So we can go monarchy, that would slide us towards spiritual. That's probably the way to go. Or I could just not slide and go autocracy for aristocrat and military effects. Although I'm not really using those effects right now. Yeah, so there's maybe an argument to go monarchy, clergy happier. Or technocracy, make the clergy happier, or clergy more powerful. Collectivist individual. Okay, so that's actually kind of the opposite direction where we are right now. Although if we run out of people to diplo integrate, that might be the way to go. Try to change our ideology so we can take more people on board. Collectivist spiritualist, so that would swing us again, maybe not as aggressively as a swing as the monarchy would be towards spiritual. That's even more spiritual. Anarchy. Possible tax rate. Interest. Although it comes at maximum. I'd want more maximum, not rate. Monarchy is an option. Monarchy option. One-party state's an option. Oligarchy is an option, I suppose, for changing government there. Probably go grain here at some point for the pop growth. Corporatism has been nice for the clergy faction power. We're running soft power for the espionage offense and defense. Maybe getting to the point where we might want to swap away from that because we don't need it as much anymore. Espionage focus is actually on defense. I probably should swap over to offense. Or should have swapped over to offense. At this point, it doesn't really matter. In migration colonies, charter colony, or migration quotas, charter colonies. Policy-wise, we just went politics for the reform cost and the stability change. Run limited conscription. We can turn that up or down. We probably want to turn it down on the limited conscription. Yeah, we probably if we do anything, we turn it down to disarm. Otherwise, we stay on limited. On high education, we're on protectionism. I don't really want to lower the tax base. Most of our income is coming from tax, I think. Yeah, 1.6 million coming from income tax just because we have so many people. Resource tax is valuable, but we have so many people. Although that's maybe a reason to go for free trade to amp the tax base multiplier. Get a 10% multiplier there. We're running no welfare. We could run welfare. Probably don't want to run welfare. Oh, the first level isn't that bad. That would be mostly for faction loyalty. And because I've been a little bit more active in controlling the leaders, and trying to get our leaders to live longer, all our factions for the moment are loyal enough. Let's be frank, they're all loyal enough. Ideologues, spy agency. I might want to hand something out to the rural folk. If we get another policy slot, maybe hand out another one to the middle class. The technocrats are so weak that they barely have any power anyway. Because we sort of collected all the power into the ideologues and the spy agency. And then the people who actually make all the money in the nation, which is the people, the rural people, and the aristocrats. So yeah, probably amping the power of the rural folk so we get more development equilibrium would be nice. Amping the power of the middle class so we get more research speed would be nice. Yeah, leader experience wouldn't be terrible either. But yeah, the run is going well. I need to stop yammering and bring this stream to a close. So let's get back pointed at Earth. Get back pointed at Earth. The run is going well. Not much else to say about it. We could probably do with a higher development equilibrium. So our people make even more money. There are ways we can go about doing that. But, yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can expect there to be a part up tomorrow. We are going to record more, in theory, by your tomorrow. For people watching on Twitch, let me go over the schedule. So today was Solar Nations 2. Tomorrow is going to be Factorio. We're hoping to get into... Well, we've researched power plants. We're going to try to build a power plant, a proper coal power plant. See how much that increases our power by. Other than that, we're going to be working towards the new science pack. Tuesday is going to be Shadow Empire. We're going to continue playing with the Syndic computer, trying to get at its robot army. Wednesday is going to be Solar Expanse. We're going to see how quickly we can get the solar system terraformed now that we have fusion ships, and we're abandoning the fission all the way rule. Basically, once we're done with terraforming and launching the interstellar vessel, we're going to be done with Solar Expanse. I think it's probably going to take more than 4 hours, just because of how much gas we need to move. But I think that's the road we're on at this point. And then Thursday is when we'll be back with Solar Nations 2, and then the cycle will repeat, assuming we haven't finished Solar Expanse by the second repeat. It probably won't, so it would probably be the Solar Expanse again. It'll probably be those 4 in that order, so it'll be Factorio, Shadow Empire, Solar Expanse, Solar Nations, Friday onward. So it gives you an 8-day picture. If you're watching this on YouTube, the first 6 days of that should have already been recorded by now. So if you can't wait for them to come up on YouTube, you can sneak over to Twitch and watch the Twitch VOD. Otherwise, you know what is going to be recorded over the next couple days, right? So that's probably telling you that, hey, tomorrow is probably Shadow Empire, the day after that's probably Solar Expanse. I should have the Twitch schedule updated for you by the time you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, I am going to do an update to the schedule as soon as I bring the stream to a close. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Twitch and you want to leave a comment, now's a good time to leave one. If you're watching later on the YouTube or the Twitch VOD and you want to leave a comment, feel free to hop over to YouTube and leave a comment over there. I'm going to try to get this up fairly quickly, although there'll be sort of the normal 2-day delay for the first part. Although if you're watching this on the Twitch VOD before the first part of this comes up, you can always go leave comments on the old version. We still have the one up from the Red Mars run is up on YouTube already. So with that, I'm going to wish everyone the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.